Episode 476, Certified by Whom? When Big Tech Defines AI Competence.
The AI 6 Podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
If the same technology company sells the AI platform, writes the curriculum, sets the examination and awards the qualification, it is doing more than teaching people how to use software. It's gaining influence over who is considered employable, promotable, and ready to lead in the AI age. Hello and welcome back to AI 6. This is episode 3 of my special 5-part series inspired by my experience at the AI for Developing Countries Forum in Geneva. In the first 2 episodes, I explored how small nations can negotiate with big tech for capability and why governments and organizations should negotiate their exit from an AI partnership before entering it. Today, I'm moving from technology procurement to the labour market. This was inspired by my second contribution at the AI for Developing Countries Forum and during the Independent Review Board session called Certified by Whom? Vendor Credentials as Curriculum Control in the Global South. And the title raises an important question. Who gets to decide what AI competence looks like? We currently have many different routes into AI education. There are university degrees, state education programs, professional qualifications, privately delivered courses like my own, free training from technology companies, and a growing number of people teaching themselves through online resources. Of course, vendor credentials can be useful. All of the big AI frontier models will offer certification in their specific tools. They can demonstrate that somebody understands a particular platform, product, or technical environment. They can also be developed and updated more quickly than many traditional qualifications. But competence in one company's product is not the same as AI capability. The concern arises when the company providing the technology also starts defining the skills people need, the curriculum they should follow, the examinations they take, and the qualification employers are encouraged to recognise. And this formed the basis of our discussion during the independent review panel session. And if you think about it, at that point, the vendor is no longer simply supporting education. It's beginning to influence the labour market. And this matters everywhere, but of course it has particular consequences for developing countries. And during our sessions in Geneva, we were specifically looking at the Global South. If national skills strategies are built around the platforms and qualifications of a small number of global technology companies, countries may become dependent on those commercial ecosystems. Workers are trained to use tools designed elsewhere, the standards are established elsewhere, the infrastructure is owned elsewhere, and much of the commercial value remains elsewhere. The workforce becomes the customer rather than a participant in building the country's own AI capability. That does not mean technology companies should be excluded from education. They have expertise, resources, and an ability to respond quickly as technology changes. In fact, many of them are designing the technology. The issue is whether any one provider should have too much control over what people learn and how their competence is measured. I believe we need a vendor-neutral approach to AI capability. A qualification should not lose its value because somebody changes employer, crosses a border, or begins using another platform. The underlying skills should be transferable. Can the person identify an appropriate AI use case? Can they apply AI to a real workplace problem? Can they evaluate and verify the output? Can they protect sensitive information? Can they recognize ethical and governance risks? Can they transfer their knowledge from one model or platform to another? And can they explain what measurable outcome their use of AI achieved? These are the questions that I want my students to be able to answer and explain and demonstrate after they have trained with me. And so you should not be tied to one training vendor. And of course, those questions tell us much more than the number of courses somebody has completed or the badges displayed on their LinkedIn profile. What it tells us is about their AI literacy, their fluency, and their competency. And even in my own work with government agencies and private organisations, I prefer not to begin with a vendor. Of course, some clients ask me to train them in a specific AI platform, and yes, I will do that. But I like to begin by examining the organisation's needs, its existing capability, and what success should look like. The participants bring real workplace challenges into the training. We design, build, and test practical use cases together, and the learning can conclude with a capstone project that the organisation can actually implement. That might be a digital crisis communication plan for the AI age, an AI governance framework, or an exemplar AI use case for a particular department. The outcome should not be a certificate that proves somebody attended a course. It should be practical capability that remains inside the organisation. This is also why credentials should belong to the learner. People should be able to carry evidence of what they know and can do throughout their careers. This came up very strongly during our session. That evidence should remain meaningful when they change jobs, platforms, or countries. It should also recognise prior learning. An experienced communication professional, public servant, accountant, teacher, or lawyer does not begin from zero when learning to use AI. They already possess knowledge, values, judgment, and professional experience. So AI capability should build on that foundation. It should not disregard 20 years of expertise because somebody has not completed a particular vendor's course. The labour market is changing too quickly for certification to remain static, and qualifications may need to become renewable, stackable, and connected to lifelong learning. But that does not mean workers should be forced to pay for a new badge every time a company changes its platform. We need independent standards that can assess different courses and credentials without allowing one company to control the entire education and labour market pathway. That's it for today's show. If you're ready to turn these insights into skills, here's how I can help. Get your copy of my book, AI Playbook, on Amazon. It's the perfect companion to the show. For weekly AI strategy, subscribe to my newsletter, Human in the Loop, on LinkedIn. Or if you want to take the next big step, you can take our CPD accredited professional diploma in AI. Maybe you need something more tailored for your organisation. You can book a call in my calendar at digitaltraining.ie. Or if you work in government or public sector, go over to publicsectormarketingpros.com. If you found this episode useful, please share it with a pro that you know. And I'd love to read your comments on Spotify. And if you can, take a second to like, rate, or subscribe wherever you listen. It really helps the show. This is AI6. I'll talk to you on the next episode.